Geek Citadel.
2016 has been a bad year for the open world game. Almost all the titles that came out this year have suffered from the Ubisoft effect in some way. Mafia 3 recently came out and I decided not to do an overview for it, mostly because it also suffers from the Ubisoft effect. What's the Ubisoft effect, you ask? It's when an open world game is created with no meaningful side quests. Instead, it's packed to the brim with repetitive content like taking over a base or finding collectibles. Basically, it's a game that's fun for about 10 hours until the feel of repetition forces us to stop playing. I always bring up Watch Dogs as a perfect example of this problem. Maybe it's because it's the worst offender of the open world filler I've seen in a game. Mafia 3 has probably beaten that game for the most repetitive design. It sets up a series of missions that look different, but in all honesty, are exactly the same. You always start by driving to a place, interrogating someone, and then driving somewhere else and shooting everyone inside or destroying some random crap. The idea is to do these missions until Lincoln has done enough damage to warrant the killing of top enforcers. You then return to places you've already been to while you were killing people to kill the top earners who decided it was the best idea to go back to the place where you killed a whole bunch of their minions to be like, oh nah, they won't come back twice. No way. Only for Lincoln to return to either kill the guy or make him his bitch. Either way, it's the same stuff. Once this mission is over, you're given a real mission to go kill the big boss, and then you repeat the cycle all over again until you've killed 6 people. And that's just it. You absolutely must do these takeover missions repeatedly to clear the districts and continue with the story missions. And that's not to say that side missions don't exist, but let me just say that they are even worse than the takeover missions. All of these side missions consist of traveling to the bayou, recovering a boat or a truck, and driving it way back to town. It's the same old kill stuff style mission as the regular stuff, but instead it turns into a long distance fetch quest. Mafia 3 is among the many games in the open world genre that just don't get how to flesh out the city they've created. I'll give it credit for being an open world game with a high number of interiors compared to a ton of other games that forget all those buildings we just drove past. That's really all the credit I can give it in the form of world building. The problem with most open world games is that they create a world and forget to design a history and regular lifestyles for the citizens. Red Dead Redemption was one of the first games that nailed the mystery of discovering random missions. The Witcher 3 offers the player with more than simple playground repetition. You get to make choices and decide how to proceed, and it's not always about stepping into a room full of people and slashing them to death. It tries to vary the fun by mixing in investigations, mysterious events, puzzles, and even random scavenger hunts. These worlds actually care about the history and the people that live in it. This is especially true of the Yakuza series. The most repetitive thing that happens in these games is the fighting system. Yet in every game, they come with some new way to engage the player. From something as simple as karaoke, taxi driving, or a history lesson about types of sushi cuts from a famous chef in Japan. Everything in the Yakuza series is intended to give the player a taste of Japan's culture. Shops have real theme songs from Kamurocho, pachinko parlors are everywhere, you can head to the Sega arcade, and even take some time to spend at whole shops. There are so many great activities and side quests that you can make 2 open world games out of one Yakuza game. The best part about these side quests? They're both engaging and mysterious. I say mysterious because you never truly know where they are going to lead. Listen, if you create an open world game and the missions all end up with the player repeating the same actions, you probably need to scrap the entire game and stop doing this.